My father and mother immigrated to the United States over 30 years ago, leaving behind all their family and friends speaking only Korean. My parents found each other in the glass and cement desert that is Los Angeles. Here were two wild adventurers, two soulmates. Ever the third wheel, I decided to be born, and thus, to everyone's joy, another soulmate entered the picture. They say dogs give unconditional love. Well, together, my parents must have been the fluffiest, bounciest pair of poodles ever. But unfortunately, when I was 14, my father passed away. I learned early in my life the irreplaceable preciousness of our loved ones. With our family 6,000 miles away and our favorite poodle gone, my mother and I struggled to find happiness. At first, I pretended I didn't care that he was gone, tried to be strong for Mom. In retrospect, this was not a good coping mechanism, and there's no fooling a mother. For a while, there was little but desperation, habit, and instinct to get me out of bed in the morning. I saw my mom change in those years, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was a bleak period. Often, I would come home to an empty house, but seeing how hard my mom worked to give me a better life, I resolved to make her proud. It is this resolve to live a happy, honest, and hard-working life for my parents which motivates me to this day. The beautiful thing about the human spirit is our resilience. Hardships come and go, but the joy we find in each other is much greater. I am beyond blessed. Realizing that I had the love of both my parents with me at all times, I began to see the opportunities around me in a new light. One such opportunity was in the world of scientific research. I've always been interested in understanding the mind and behavior, but it was during my research at House Research Institute's Communication Neuroscience Lab in Los Angeles that I turned my curiosity into something a little more legitimate than playground gossip and musings. I decided to come to Penn to major in psychology, thus becoming the first of my family to attend college. At Penn, perhaps due to the diverse international community, I was drawn not only to psychology, but also to political science, which is, in a sense, psychology of the world's nations. One of my favorite courses at Penn was a management course, Cultivating Judgment Skills, with Professor Philip Tetlock, in whose psychology lab I was concurrently working. In the Good Judgment Project lab, I was exposed to ideas about prediction in the realm of world politics and international business. My job was to research, answer tournament questions, and make confidence judgments on current world events ranging from mergers and acquisitions of multinational corporations to the possibility of military clashes in the South China Sea. The management course was essentially a forecasting competition, but it brought together my two passions, psychology and political science, in an elegant way. As the perhaps facetiously elected leader of a team of Wharton MBAs, I learned and practiced skills and methods for judgment and decision-making for more accurate forecasting in geopolitics. This is why Penn is amazing. Not only was I given the opportunity to participate in cutting-edge research, but I have also had the flexibility to learn for the sake of learning, discovering ever more new worlds. Penn is truly special. Here, I've been given the opportunity to get to know my scholarship donors, the Schmuckers. I remember my first scholarship celebration in the fall of my freshman year, when the Schmuckers, Penn alumni themselves, told me about their fateful meeting and courtship, the classic happily ever after of true love found at Penn. And I must confess, my mind strayed to thoughts about my own future at Penn. Perhaps it was because I had not yet taken that class on prediction methods, but I couldn't begin to imagine who I'd be in 3 years. Mr. Schmucker, on the other hand, seems to be a natural forecaster. He said some words the night we first met that have stuck with me. Maybe that will be you up there one day. Tonight, I am honored to fulfill that quasi-prediction. Each year, I have come to these scholarship celebrations with the Schmuckers. They've really been top banana. And last Thanksgiving, they welcomed me into their home for delicious sweet potatoes and cranberry sauce. And I got to meet their family and friends. Because I live in California, it felt so nice to be welcomed into a home away from home. I remember the younger generations of the family, the nieces and nephews, cousins, brothers and sisters, and even the dog treating us to a musical talent show. And at the end of the night, we all paused to look up at the night sky. It was then, looking up at the stars in a way you just can't in the traffic-heavy streets of LA, that I realized I had found that poodle magic, that unconditional acceptance once again. It was an unforgettable memory. Thank you so much. Without love, I would not be here today at Penn, surrounded by a most enchanting set of peers and professors. Everyone at Penn has taught me that service is one of the great joys of life. And even after I leave this campus and its glorious love statue, I will carry this wisdom with me in my pocket like a napkin. And on rainy days, I will use it to dry my speckled window and look out at the beauty of the world. I am lucky to have received boundless support from everyone around me, and I can think of nothing greater than to give back. I hope to pursue a career in international law after graduation and to fight for immigrant rights. I plan to live by Mahatma Gandhi's immortal words, to be the change that I wish to see in the world. It is love that started my family's journey back in the desert when my parents walked hand in hand. And it is love that drives me today.